I think fundraising within Beanstalk is, I would say, very innovative. When I came to Beanstalk 4.5 years ago, we had virtually no income from major donors. We had very little, or certainly not a massive amount of money from the corporate sector. So we've certainly increased income on those pipelines quite considerably. But also then, I think in terms of the use of things like our development board, which is a board of very skilled individuals, very incredibly well networked, some of whom will also give us money to help us deliver our fundraising strategy. So I would say that we've been quite innovative in the way in which we've been able to raise funds. So I think one of the things that's really important when you're fundraising is to recognise, particularly for organisations in the not-for-profit sector, is that you will always have a limited amount of resource that you can pay to do that for you. So one of the reasons why we've been successful at raising so much money is because we've built a strong network of people around us at Beanstalk. So we developed something called our development board, which I've spoken about previously, which is chaired by someone who gives us quite a considerable amount of money each year. We've then got that person to help identify other members for the development board. We've also brought in some of our own contacts onto that. And so they're people with whom we share our fundraising strategy and say, here's what we need to deliver this year. How can you help us do that? We give them a target. So our development board has a target of £150,000 to raise. And just to give you an example of how that worked and why that has been so successful, last year Beanstalk decided for the first time ever that we were going to put on a big gala dinner. Now we have a relatively small fundraising team. And we know that if we wanted that to be really successful in terms of raising a lot of money, then we really needed quite a lot of help and support with that, not just in terms of the organisation of it, but getting the right people in the room, because it was only going to be a small event for around 200 people. So our development board were given the task of actually owning the table sales and ticket sales for that event, and to help us find tremendous auction prizes, speakers. And so through our development board, we managed to secure the Mayor of London, Boris Johnson, as a speaker. Through my connection and relationship through Eleanor with Princess Laurentine of the Netherlands, she agreed to come and speak at that. Our development board helped us a great auctioneer in Lord Archer. The event was a complete sellout, and quite early on we sold all of the tables at very early, and we raised over £200,000 in one night at that event. Now, normally I would expect an event like that, a dinner, if you're lucky, to raise £20,000. So that was a tremendous success, and only not because we had a huge paid staff team of people working on that, although the team we do have worked very hard, but we used our development board to help us bring on board their network and connections to be able to introduce new people to our work. But there are some really important things I think that we need to get right. It's to have the story and the case for support mapped out in a way which speaks to your audience. And of course, with philanthropists, high net worth individuals, it can be different for every single person that you speak to. So the relationship is key, and building a relationship with an individual, a high net worth individual, is really important. Build a strong relationship, find out what's important to them, listen to what's important to them and in what areas they've perhaps provided funding previously and why, so that then when you do make an ask, you make sure that that ask sings to the right tune from their perspective, because it's no good thinking that you can go and start to fundraise from a different type of source by doing it the way you've always done it before, because the way in which you might approach, for example, a high net worth individual might be quite different to the way in which you write a traditional bid for trust or foundations income or statutory income. So it's know your donor, build really strong relationships, communicate regularly, take them out to see what you do, talk to them about why the work's important, talk to them about the difference that their money will make and for how many beneficiaries, children, young people, adults, depending on the context of your organisation, and then put in place a really clear account management plan so that you know at what point you're going to make an ask from that person and at what level, what's their capacity, so to have researched to find out how much wealth they have and how much they give away already each year, so that you know that your ask is appropriate within that context.